What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay, coming to you on this Sunday. It's noon, and I'm super excited. I've got a special guest, guys, that are on today. Matter of fact, he was ranked, I believe, the top three, one, two, or three social media presence on Twitter for cryptocurrency. He's sought after by so many. He does multiple X, we formerly known as Twitter Spaces, each and every week. He's connected to some of the biggest names in all of crypto. He's a crypto advocate. He's a XRPH. He's part of that community as well. He's one of the leaders in that community. He's also a very, very prominent figure in the XRP and Ripple community. So many people have a respect for this guy. I look at him as my little brother. You guys, welcome to the show. Edo Farina. Edo, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for the introduction, and I'm actually looking forward for the discussion today. We're going to be talking about XRP and many other exciting topics.
Big time, my brother. And I also sent you a link. I believe I just put the live link on. So
I already shared on X, yeah.
Excited, guys. So Edo, I want to, before we get into XRP, brother, and what's going on, and I know we've got a lot to talk about. You and I have been doing. Matter of fact, it's funny because I'm Puerto Rican and black. I played professional basketball in Puerto Rico. I know a little Spanish, so I got on your Spanish X today, and I heard you, brother. You're pretty impressive. Like, how many doggone languages do you speak? You were speaking very fluent. You were leading the Spanish-speaking only meeting. I'm like, good Lord, I was very impressed, brother. So, how many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak 5 languages, and now I'm living in Greece, so I also learning the Greek language. So we're trying to get some content also for the XRP community, the Spanish community, because we know English is the main dominant language for XRP. So there's a lot of requests for people. Maybe they want to share with family members who know how it is. So yes, we now are also doing the spaces in Spanish. It's a challenge sometimes because I use it most of the times to talk in English, and it's also not my mother tongue. But yeah, we're getting ahead on that as well.
I sat there and watched you for about 30 minutes. I'm sure I saw a couple guys actually follow me on Twitter. They probably thinking that I'm bilingual, but I was really just there to support my little brother, and I was very, very shocked as I was listening to it. I said, oh my God, this guy is really good at speaking Spanish. So some things I understood, but I was very shocked. So right now you're very busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. I see that you're doing multiple Twitter spaces, multiple interviews and things with various people. You're really plugged into what's going on in the movement. Talk a little bit about that and maybe some of the upcoming plans before we get into XRP that you've got going on in this space.
Oh, there are so many things going on, and you actually know because we have been doing some of that together. We're living now with the X spaces, and we have been talking about this a lot. In my opinion, X is the future of social media, so they are doing everything that YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they ever wished for is being integrated all together. I think Elon Musk has been doing an excellent job. So I'm very excited because my main audience has always been on X, and recently now X is also monetized. So I'm just trying to do my best in this time. I know that there is a lot of things going on. It's so hard to keep up with everything going on. I know that's the Ethereum new information, the ERC20 tokens, the XRP ledger, new updates for the XRP ledger, federated sidechains. I mean, you can just go crazy. It's like 1 week in crypto. It's like 1 year in the real world. So you have to be, I think now is the right time to grind and to work as hard as you can so that in 2025, perhaps we can have some rest and look back and see that we did the right choice to work hard on these times.
Well, that's something, one of the things that I've been around for a long time, man, 25 years in business. I've done a lot of things from professional ball, and I'm always learning. And one of the things that I'm learning from you is how to be active. Like I heard you, I believe it was on with Jenna X or something like that, and you and King Dogo, and you were just talking about how it can be a lot trying to do the things that you're doing. I heard the interview when you were saying, what you've learned how to do is record a bunch of different or post a bunch of different things and then have them go out in different times so that it doesn't consume your whole day. And I see that you're really, really focused. And you've talked to me a couple times. Look, James, you really need to get involved because there's some really good money with Twitter, and you shared those things with me with X on some of the benefits. And I think Elon is brilliant, man, because no one in the beginning understood why he bought Twitter, and then he rebranded it X, and all the things that he's got going. Just talk a little bit about why you're excited about X before we get into Ripple or XRP, because I know they're talking about a video that they're really trying to become the all for one platform. Talk a little bit about that, Edo.
Yeah, man. So X has implemented a lot of changes. One of the things that I like about X is that I don't have to worry so much about the censorship. So basically, you can pretty much talk almost about everything. And the same is not true for YouTube, for example. I think you already comment in one of our lives that you got, I think, was a suspension from YouTube. Well, I know a lot of
twice.
Yeah, there are some words we cannot mention on YouTube, and I do know that you have been censored. I know other, especially XRP influencers. I know also health in general information is very sensitive on YouTube. There are some doctors that I used to follow in the past years. They also get censored. So I think X is a great platform to build an audience, and not only that, but you can kind of build a networking, because the way that social media works, everything works on real time. Like YouTube somehow has this delay when you're gonna publish a video. And oh, sorry, someone was actually calling me here.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, sorry, I have to, because I'm doing the call on the Zoom.
Yeah, on the cell phone, yeah.
And in the phone, yeah. So, Mamma mia. 1 second here.
No,
just give me a second. It's my mother.
No. Do your thing. Let me shout out to the family here. Shouts out to Big Watch Dude. What's up, my brother? Cool chicks in the house. Shane Sullivan. I see you, my man. Thank you guys so much for being here. Beekeeper69, the one and only. I appreciate you guys in a major way. Welcome to the greatest way to start or end your day, or just be a part of the family with Crypto for Life 6-8Jay and my man Edo Farina. So Edo, go ahead.
I'm
and
back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No,
it was actually my mother was calling me. So
and really quick, for those of you guys who don't know, if you just tuned in, if you're gonna tune in, we're sitting here with this legendary guy. There's different parts of this show that I want to talk about. Right now, he's talking about the benefit of X, and then I've got something that I want to ask you a little bit more personal. But go ahead, Edo. Go ahead.
Yes, sure, man. So yeah, I think X is a great time because, with YouTube, we have some sort of delay when you actually publish the content until it actually goes viral. It might take even several weeks. And X is just like you publish the content and instantly you're already going to know if this is going to go viral or not. So, and it also works for smaller accounts. So this gives you opportunity, for example, to have millions of impressions, and then you can start promoting even your own products or something you want to sell.
That's right.
If you pin your tweet below the tweet that has went viral, you have a great opportunity. So what X allows right now, and just for the people to understand, you have to qualify for the monetization program, which you need at least 500 followers. So I do, if you see my tweets, my posts now, it's called like this, that I encourage people to interact with each other and build a sense of community.
That's right.
And this, in my opinion, is part of why my account has been successful in the last year. And so because I promote a strong sense of community so that the people can interact with themselves and create this networking, which is great for everything, not only for becoming a creator or creating business together or content together. Everything works. So you also need to hit 5 million impressions per month. And well, I have seen accounts with 3,000 followers, 4,000 followers that they actually qualify for that. So you can, if you actually put the efforts, anyone in this moment can go out there and monetize on X. You just need the right direction and the right methodology. So yes, I think X is doing an excellent job. First of all, on allowing people to not be worried about censorship. Second, to making the monetization process very easily. Is not so like in YouTube, for instance, it might take 1 year for you to get monetized if you do great content.
That's right.
I also see that TikTok pays much less per impressions than X.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, X now is the top platform for monetizing. Yeah.
And you can see it's really sparked. And I know Cool Chick had asked a question right now. She said, it says, hi, can you make money on X? And I think Edo Farina just did a very good job of explaining that. So now it's becoming the most sought after platform to monetize yourself. And I see a lot of people, man, being more and more productive with their posts, including yourself. So, and Edo has shared some things as far as what he's made. I've seen some other people post, like Wales Guru and a couple other guys talk about the checks that they've gotten monthly of 5,000 or more. And that's without doing anything extra, just basically continuously and maybe adding a little bit more to what they've already done. So yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity, Cool Chick, to be able to monetize that ecosystem.
And just to add on top of that, most people out there, they are already tweeting for free. So there is not a reason why you should not actually focus on trying to monetize your account.
Right.
It's very great strategy, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So we also had someone ask, and I know this is probably personal, but Sundays is keeping it 100. We call it like family day. We had somebody here ask. Let me see if I can find it. It said, Shane Sullivan says, Edo, what is your nationality?
Italy. Yes.
Italian.
Yes, I'm Italian.
Italian. Okay, and you live where?
I live in Greece. I moved to Athens.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to learn Greek, so it maybe be my next language to do some content. Who knows?
So you guys definitely got some fans in here wanting to know a little bit more about you. So one of the things that I want to talk about too is before we get started, you've had an extraordinary commitment. Sometimes I talk about people and their dedication to the space and their dedication to being a part of investing. You had a story that you shared with me early on when me and you talked off the camera, and then I asked you to share it on the camera, and I don't recommend everybody, guys, always remember that anything that me and Edo Farina talk about should never be considered or deemed financial advice. We are not financial advisors. We're just documenting our journey in the evolution of money. Okay, so with that being said, Edo, I know that early on you sold your car because how much you weren't crazy. You didn't just go, oh, let me sell my car and go to the casino. No, you did some research and due diligence. You fell in love with the space. You understood, oh my God, this is going to change everything. This is my opportunity to be great in life and so forth. And then you took that that motivation and that passion and sold your car. Kind of tell us really quickly, if you don't mind, before we get into what most people are here for, which is XRP. Explain to us what made you do that, and did you do that just to go gamble, or did you do that because you knew what you were doing and you had a plan?
Well, first of all, I don't recommend anyone to do this. I'm just sharing. It's not. Don't take your wife's car and go to play in the casino. That's not what we are suggesting
here.
Not
at all. No, not at all.
But yeah, actually, I use it to work because I am graduated in law. So I use it to work as an intern for a law firm. Mm-hmm. In Europe, when you go to study abroad, it's actually called Erasmus. So you actually go for another country and you join their university. So I was in the university in Lisbon studying law, and I also got to work in a law firm, which I still work there. It's very funny. It's called Law. It's a blockchain fintech. Yeah. I think one time I even introduced you to Marcio, maybe in some spaces or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, he was a Bitcoin maximalist back on the time, and he knew everything about Bitcoin. And he also had another employee that was always, they were always talking about Bitcoin. And Marcio has been knowing Bitcoin since 2015, 2016.
Now, you're not talking about MM Crypto, are you? Not
Sorry?
MM Crypto, that's not the same guy?
No, it's called Law. That's how they call it. Okay. But it's one of the strongest law firms in Portugal. They take care about everything, taxation and blockchain in general. It's great.
Nice.
So they were always telling me about Bitcoin, and I always been but when I joined crypto, it was a bit of a delusional idea that I thought Bitcoin was going to dethrone the banks and this is the new financial. I always knew there's something coming for the financial system, and that's what kind of attracted me. So I say, yeah, this actually makes sense. I took some time to read the white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto, and I got interested, and I decided, yeah, let's give a try. So back on the time, I had a car. Was a Land Rover Freelander year 2000.
Nice.
And it was not an expensive car anyways, but this car was just giving me a lot of headache because, man, in Lisbon, it's very difficult to park because the streets are very tiny. So every time I go back home and I try to find a parking, I can't. So I have to park illegally and they fine me every time. So this car was like a pain in the ass because every time I have to pay 100 euros, 80 euros. And I say, you know what? I'm going to do something with this car. So I took the car and I actually sold the car. And that's when I split the investment and I bought 3 coins. It was Bitcoin, mostly in Bitcoin, but I also took a huge portion in Packcoin and Dogecoin under 1 Satoshi. Okay. That's the first time I bought it.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how I got into crypto. And that actually turns around that every time I was moving my Bitcoins from one wallet to the other wallet, I was usually using Coinbase, for example, which it's one of the most well-known exchanges, and
Okay.
I was always paying a lot of fees on Bitcoin. Every transaction, man,
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like every time asking myself, is this the future of
Oh my
finance?
gosh.
Because
Yeah.
everybody says Bitcoin is going to be the currency and the banks are going to
Right.
adopt Bitcoin, which now we know is not true.
Yeah.
But back on the time, and I was paying so much transaction fees, and that's how I started to do some research. And the people told me, oh, you should actually convert your Bitcoin to XRP and send XRP instead. And then I
Yeah.
started to do this, and just something click on my mind, and I started to do research on XRP, and it was just mind blowing to see
Yeah.
the back on the time they were already highly connected to banks like Santander, Bank of America, and that's how I got to this journey. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's funny. What's up, Big Watch Dude and Anthony Rander? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, it's funny because in the very beginning, a lot of times when you're just starting, you're trying to find the most popular platforms to get on. One of the first platform I found was Coinbase. And dude, it's funny because I didn't start with a whole lot, but once I got to, because I started learning how to trade, and once I got into the six figures, 100,000 plus, and you start moving in and out of assets, bro, those fees are 1,700. 2,500, 15, and I'm sitting there going, like, I'm getting out of trouble. I'm like, dude, I'm getting screwed. Like every time and it was so much money that they were getting from me. And once I found other platforms that were cheaper, I never used Coinbase again, ever. I never used them again because I just realized that they took, they just took advantage of those fees. It was sad. Yeah, I was very sad, during that time. I wasted so much money with them. So, no, I definitely appreciate your story on how you got started with the car. And we definitely don't recommend people doing that. So now that prompts me into what we came here to talk about, which is Ripple XRP. And the thing that I want to talk to you about is understanding the opportunity that we have, and not just with Ripple XRP. There's many projects, and me and you've talked about that right before we got onto the show. There's XDC, there's XLM. There's a lot of amazing projects that will do very well in the next bull run. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin's the almighty, but it's way out of people's reach as far as financial with most people. You've got Ethereum, but we've got all this stuff going on with ETHgate. Even though I have some Ethereum, I'm just very reluctant on telling people, what to do with that. It's hard for me to support something that's attacked another project that I'm in. So, I do have a little bit of Ethereum. But then there's some incredible projects out there like Polkadot and Matic and others, right? So we're not dismissing anything. But today I want to talk about Ripple specifically, Edo, because of what's been done to Ripple and how they've been able to overcome all the things that have been done against them, right? You've got the SEC, you've got the 2.5-year lawsuit, you got the fact that in the last bull run it really didn't have its moment. It really didn't explode to new highs because of what the SEC and those guys did to the with the lawsuit and so forth. And the fact that right now, being that they got the legal clarity on September 13th, 2023 here just some months ago, and the fact that even now with the appeal. It looks very, very promising for Ripple because of all the corruption, because of all the scandals that are now being exposed, especially by the gentleman Steven Naroff, who's now coming forward with John Deaton, who sounds like John Deaton's representing the guy. So there's all these positive things that are happening for Ripple. One of the things that I talked to you about before the stream, and I want you to kind of touch on that, is recognizing the moment, right? And the fact that so many people get caught up in I want to hit a home run. Whether if you've been in this space for a long time, you should know better than that. But if you haven't been in this space a long time and you're chasing, something that's got 5 or 6 zeros or 18 zeros like Pepe Coin or some other, baby Doge cousin or something like that, and you're putting your livelihood and your family's future in something like that instead of focusing on the different projects that can really get you there. And so just talk about what you feel as far as the importance of recognizing the opportunity with XRP. I want to talk some more about some things that I just got off the phone with a friend of mine and some of the things that he's going through. But just talk about why it's important to recognize that opportunity right now, Edo, and the fact that maybe we may never see a price this low, or even if we do have a black swan event. I was telling a friend of mine, I said, it's okay to buy some now, just in case it goes up, at least you're protected. But if it goes down, then you buy some more. Talk about where XRP is at right now and why people should really pay attention to this asset.
well, first of all, being many years in crypto, I noticed definitely a pattern on this. I can say that unfortunately, the markets are manipulated, and sometimes it even feels like it's designed to make people lose their money, but not everybody. I'm talking about the people who constantly go out chasing pumps and dumps.
Yeah.
I mean, the people actually, and I see this, especially, let me give a very realistic example. I am the head of social adoption for the XRP Healthcare, which is a project that exists within the XRP ledger and has some sort of real world utility attached to the project.
Your ticker is XRPH, right?
Yeah, it's XRPH. I am the head of social adoption.
Okay.
And I'm not here to talk about the XRPH, but it's just to give an example. Man, we have done huge partnerships with real world utility acquisition. It's ongoing acquisition of private clinics in Africa. There is the XRPH card, which people can use to have discount on the pharmacies with the XRPH card. I mean, there's
for prescriptions
so
and
much.
Things like that.
Yes, prescriptions card.
Wow.
There is a lot of things going on for the XRP healthcare, and many times we're going to post these things, the updates, and all of this real world utility and things that I see no other project is achieving. And sometimes these things, they will fly under the radar, but whenever you make a post and you say, look, there is some interesting price movement, that's when the eyes go on. So the people look they only chase green candles. That's unfortunately the reality of a lot of investors in crypto,
right.
Because they are, I have a feeling they are too much concerned about the money they will make from today to tomorrow, rather than focus on the money they will make investing now calmly and waiting 1 or 2 or 3 years, which is great money, that generational wealth that you can make in the next year. So by using this mindset where people are constantly trying to make the quick gains, they fall for traps, which sometimes are very dangerous. Well, how many people end up buying the top for Pepe, for example? Not only that, or other coins that they will maybe never see another all-time high.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we have coins like utility tokens, just like XRP. You said very well before, it didn't have a bull run. The last bull run, it was actually outperformed by other coins like Ethereum. One of the reasons the price was surpassed by the SEC. So what happens is you have XRP, which is in accumulation phase. It didn't have a bull run, and when it explodes, I'm quite sure it will actually go past the all-time high. So it's much more safer for you to buy a coin like XRP, which has a lot of real-world utility, than to go out and make gamble in tokens that is just like, as Brad Garlinghouse says, like 99 of the projects might die. I do agree with him, because if you look for the majority of cryptos, or they have a very high supply, no burning, that's another thing people have to look for, is tokenomics. The distribution of the tokens, the people, they just press the buy button as if they are in the casino. But that's not, if you want to gamble, I mean, buy a great Cuban cigar and actually go to the casino and have a great time gambling, at least enjoy the time, I don't know.
Exactly.
But don't do it with the purpose of investing, because it's very different to gamble and to invest. So
I agree.
One of the great strategies right now is to identify which role blockchain is going to play in the next years. So we can talk about real estate tokenization. We can talk about healthcare, which is an emerging issue that healthcare needs blockchain to solve a lot of problems.
That's right.
Or we have to look for where will be blockchain removing a lot of the friction we have in many aspects. Just like XRP is going to remove the friction for cross-border payments, but there are several types of friction. It can be friction in the sense of bureaucracy. I give great examples, like find a trending, like I give an example. After the collapse of Terra Luna, UST, that people lost money savings, I see that crypto insurance is going to be the next trending.
Yeah.
So you might seek for a token that will fulfill a purpose of providing crypto insurance.
Yeah.
There I can give you one.
Yeah.
Armor Protocol, which is on the networking of Ethereum. Yes, I talk a lot bad things about Ethereum, but I recognize they have really powerful ecosystem. They have great coins like Matic.
Right.
Like I just say one now, which is Armor. well, you have many. You have ICP. You have coins that have real. So find these tokens that are going to actually fulfill something in the real world, and then you are make you are making an investment and not gambling your money, and that's how you can
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm very relaxed to go sleep in the night if I hold tokens that maybe they are down, because crypto markets are like this. They can go up and they can go down.
That's right.
Even if you have the best token in the world, just like XRP can one day go to 90 cents and the next day is 50 cents. But I can sleep just fine at night because I know who is behind
That's right.
Ripple.
That's right.
I know which role XRP is going to play in the financial system. I know the tokenomics. I know everything about it. So I can be very relaxed that I don't care about price fluctuations. And if actually it goes down, well, I'm happy I can buy more.
No, I think that's a great example of what makes it such an incredible project. And I do agree, because when you look at projects, and I want to share a story here in a little bit with a friend of mine that I just got off the phone with earlier. But when you look at projects and you see the CEO, you see the COO, you see that those that are involved, like Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, Joe Katz, you see that they got a strong legal team with Stuart Alderete. You see that they didn't fold their tail between their legs and run or hide when the SEC came after them and fold like a lot of other companies have. And nothing against those companies, just Ripple has been in a very phenomenal position to be able to fight the fight because they knew what they had. They knew, like Brad Garlinghouse said, he goes, look, we're willing to go the whole way. We know what we have. We know what we're doing. We know we've done everything up to ethical standard. We operate in a first-class manner with ethics and things like that, so and integrity. So to see a company like that when most companies, Edo, are firing people, they're cutting back, they're shutting down offices. This is what you're seeing from almost every other project that's out there, even to the extent of a lot of these exchanges, right? Their CEOs are leaving, their legal teams are dispersing, their employees are disgruntled. Meanwhile, Ripple is still buying more and more major companies. They're filling in the puzzle to the point where now you can really see what's getting ready to happen. And they really position themselves in a strong way to be in connections with every major institution in the world, every government and many things I'm sure that we don't see behind closed doors. We see their names linked to so many different things, from the BIS to ISO 2022, all these different things, right? So you're not talking about, and I say this very kindly, Edo, but you're not talking about, and again, for anybody who's in Hex, I'm sorry, no disrespect to Hex or whatever else, but when you see the CEO or the guy who's behind that, doing all these things that are very questionable in Lamborghinis. He's in the club smacking girls in the butt while he's wearing a bunch of rings and Rolexes. There's a problem with that. And so, again, my thing is I look for leadership. I look for integrity. And again, it's not a diss towards Hex. What I'm rather saying is be very smart and strategic on how you spend your family's money, right? And I got off the phone with someone, and I want to share this story, guys. I got off the phone with a friend of mine right now who, he lost his home. We used to talk all the time, and he does a lot of investments, and I won't name his name, but I've always tried to mentor the guy. And some people listen, some people don't. But this particular guy, he was very, very passionate about certain projects he was going to get into, certain nodes that he was going to get into. Even when things folded, they would come back and go, "Oh, but we're going to fix this. We're going to do it a different way." And I'm like, bro, like if it failed once and they keep on, doing the same thing over and over, they're just trying to take money. And he unfortunately took out loans and kind of the things you were talking about with selling your car. He just kept doing things in almost like gambling. And it seemed like the more he kept having problems, Edo, he said he kept trying to fix it quickly. And that's where you mess up, is when you're trying to fix things quickly. You're trying to hit home runs by, and I always tell him, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You got people that go out there, like I talked to you before we went live. There's people who go out there and put 5,000 in Pepe because they're like, man, if that thing just drops 4 zeros, or if it just drops 3 zeros, my life is forever changed. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you'll get lucky. Maybe you were part of Pepe before they hit coin market cap, and someone told you about it early, but those people jumped out and made a bunch of money and they're done. They're probably never going to get back into it again. And so all I'm saying is these days you got to be really, really careful in your investments. You got to be careful in what you do. Recognize that this is an opportunity. Like I was telling my friend that was talking to me, I mean, it's affected his house. He lost his house. They're now living in a very low end area. They're renting. Him and his wife are going through problems, that they're talking about possibly, there have been discussions of splitting up, and there's all these things that's going on, and it's all because, and she doesn't trust him. Now she hates crypto, and all these different things because of how he approached his investments, right? And this is the thing where you got to be strategic, you got to be honest, you can't do things dishonestly, you can't go out there and get loans that you can't afford to pay back, and you should never go out there and invest in crypto like you're playing a slot machine, or you're gambling in a casino, because it's not going to work. And instead recognize where we're at. Me and you talked about this. So I want you to talk a little bit about, Edo, just where we're at right now. I know there's a lot of positive things that we're talking about, like, what happens if ETH, and I'm going to say something real quick about ETHgate. One of the things that John Deaton's talking about, and many attorneys are talking about, is that we may be coming to the statute of limitations, where everything that they did was back in at a time where the statute of limitations might be running out, right? Or could run out. Maybe that's what Gary Gibbs or them are trying to do. But there's enough, the things that they've charged XRP with, Ripple and XRP, is nothing like Ethereum has done. It's nothing like. I mean, what they've done is corruptive. There's so many people involved, and so I don't really know if we're going to have justice. I just know that it's going to shine a light, and I think it'll create enough doubt in the legal system that it will benefit people like Coinbase and Ripple moving forward. But just talk about right now where we're at 50 cents. I was telling the gentleman that I was talking to earlier. I said, look, man. He's hurting. I mean, I'm talking about to the point he doesn't have any money, very, very low. And I said, look, man, if you can just buy, not financial advice, as a little brother to me, a good friend, buy 1,000 XRP. If you can afford $500, just buy 1,000 XRP. I said, and if you can hold on to that and put that on the side, if and when the day comes, and I think it's going to come based off of a lot of things that are out there and a lot of things that Ripple's doing, if we see the day that it hits $100, I said, brother, that's $100,000. Just put it up somewhere and forget about it. I said, then do this. Just like you tithe money to church, or you do things to put money aside, I said, just take a little bit of your money, even if it's 25 or 50 bucks here and there, put it on the side. If we do have a black swan event and prices retrace and we see a 40 cents or 30 cents or 25 cents XRP, take that $500,000, now put that into that, right? I said, try to save up to $1,000. Now, if you got 4,000 XRP plus the 1,000 that you have now, and if it goes to $100, that's $500,000. I would imagine that fixes all your problems. And he goes, yeah, bro. And I said, bro, please stop chasing overnight success. Stop chasing these meme coins and crap coins and everything else. Give your family a real shot at winning, right? And so, Edo, just speak on that, what people should be looking at, and the fact that I think in this next bull run, we may never see these lows again. Not for Bitcoin, not for XRP, not for a lot of the projects that people are excited about. Once we get out of this, what I call a bubble pop, like the .com bubble pop. Once we get out of this bubble pop and we get into, the Bitcoin halving coming in 200 and something, like 200 days, whatever, and then after the Bitcoin halving, we get into the next bull run, that might be it. This might be the lowest, or whatever's here to come the next maybe few months. I think the next 4 to 6 months will be very interesting for crypto. But once we get out of that cycle and into the next bull run, I think it's going to be life-changing. We'll never look at this again. So just give some insight on embracing the moment right now.
Sure, man. Actually, your insights were great. I mean, the first thing is that people have to have a stable plan, which is not going to be based on emotion, so that you commit to follow your plan.
That's right.
I mean, imagine XRP takes off tomorrow and you don't have a plan.
Oh,
I mean, that's the success, the recipe for failure. It just looks the same way that when people win on the lottery, most of them they go back to being as poor as they were before, and even in a worse position because now they lost all of that money. So the first thing I advise is people to make a plan and stick to the plan. Second thing is we talk often about black swan events, and that can have a huge implication. Either if we talk in terms of exchanges, so exchanges are definitely not safe. I would recommend everyone to get a cold wallet as soon as possible. I mean, if you're holding substantial amounts of crypto, the first thing you should have is a cold wallet.
I don't mean to cut you off. What cold wallets do you like?
Well, I do still have Ledger, even though they have some controversial issues in the past 12 months. But right now I'm using Kivo. So Kivo wallet is one of my favorites. I see that crypto is coming for mass adoption, and I think seed phrases are going to be left behind. I know.
Okay.
The gentleman I give you in the beginning, Marcio, which was my boss in the law, he's the owner of the law firm.
Right.
Well, he's a very he's in Bitcoin since 2015. He lost the seed phrases of a wallet. It happened to him. He has 40 Bitcoins stuck in there. So the first thing, in my opinion, is that for mass adoption, seed phrases are going to be left behind. Okay. Just like I can't imagine like my grandparents using cryptocurrencies and having to access through seed phrases. So right now I have a more innovative approach, which is called Kivo Wallet. So it's like biometrical. It scans my face, and that's going to enable me to access my funds. And it has also some other mechanisms, which in my opinion are far better than seed phrases.
They got fingerprints, they got all that kind of stuff, right? Biometrics,
Yeah, biometrics, and it's all safely stored on the blockchain, so it's not under custody of exchanges or anything like that. So that brings me to my next point, which is, well, you said something before that Ripple is around since a long time ago. So why I think XRP is so secure investment right now? Just think that Bitcoin inception, now I have a brain fog, it was in 2000, can you remind me which year? 2000?
You're talking about when Bitcoin came out?
2012, something like that, when it was first created.
I want to say, I thought it was like 8 or 9. I could be wrong.
Yeah, sorry, 2012, you are correct. 2012 was the XRP ledger.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is 2009. But just have an idea that Ripple is around since 2004. Did you know that?
What? Oh, it was one coin, right?
It was one coin. Yeah, it was actually Ripple Payments.
Okay.
Which was funded by a gentleman called Ryan Fugger, and then it came Chris Larsen, and I think not Arthur Brito, but Chad McCaleb, and they founded OpenCoin, which then became Ripple Labs. So it's way before Bitcoin inception. You know, they didn't have.
Which is why a lot of people are saying, and I don't know if you heard that Joe Katz might be Satoshi.
Yeah, I was making some posts about it because there is a lot of speculation about that. Yeah. Well, we can't be sure, but we can speculate.
People said Elon Musk. People said so many different names. You don't know what to believe.
Yeah. So look, how many years and how many crises? 2008 crisis, everything, and Ripple survived all through everything, and they are now in the middle of one of the worst bear markets, and the macro scenario is also not very good for crypto, and they are just purchasing companies and keep building. So in my opinion, XRP is the most safe coin right now. I feel more comfortable having XRP than having money in my bank account, which is a very controversial.
I have a question for you. Shouts out to Kayat, Kayat, but I've got he said, well said, G. I've got a question from Nesforce. He says, Crypto for Life, please ask Edo Farina what he thinks about the fact that most BTC miners are operating at a loss right now, and that BTC halving needs a huge price pump for miners to stay in profit. He put XRP number 1.
Yes, I do agree with him. And there is something that most people who are into Bitcoin don't know, because people believe Bitcoin has a limited supply. And that turns out not to be true as well, because it's not so easy. But if the miners, they come together, they can actually change the code and increase Bitcoin supply to over 21 million Bitcoins, because at some point it might not be profitable anymore to mine Bitcoin, so they can actually change the code. So that's something also to have in mind, that XRP supply is limited. I mean, it's a huge supply, it's 100 billion supply, but it will never increase. And every transaction burns XRP, so it makes XRP also a deflationary asset. People think that supply is so big, but if you're going to look, the supply that's actually in circulation in the exchanges can dry very quickly. Right. As soon as we have some sort of adoption, especially by banks and financial institutions, which they are well known to be working together with Ripple. I just made a video last week, because I do a lot of research. I spent several hours on documents. I read everything between the lines. Right. And sometimes I just have some crazy insights. Just like last week I was reading, it was a letter from Ripple communicating with the Bank of Thailand. And they were just telling openly, requesting the Central Bank of Thailand to utilize XRP on the private version of the XRP ledger. So there is also they openly say that they want the governments and the financial institutions to use XRP as the bridge currency. So it's just
Which I understand several have tested that. And there's been several tests, like not too long ago, they were testing some CBDCs and it made XRP pump to like a flash up to 7,000 or some change. I don't know if you saw that or not. It was
yeah,
all
yeah,
over
yeah. I
Twitter.
saw
Yeah.
that.
So I have a couple more questions. I don't mean to cut you off. There's some people who are very in tune to what you're saying right now. Cool Chick asked, what's the name of that wallet that you mentioned just a while ago, if you don't mind saying it again?
Kivo wallet. I can actually I cannot write because we are on the call, but it's Kivo. It's I'm very bad at spelling in English, but it's Keevo.
Okay,
Kivo.
Kivo.
Yeah,
Keevo. Kivo. Okay, Kivo.
yeah. If someone gets interested, I even they contact me.
You have a link?
We make a. I have even a link. They can get a
Okay,
discount
that's good.
from Kivo.
Right on the side of your face, I've had up almost the whole time your Twitter. So if you guys go, you see his Twitter right there on the side of his face. That's his page or his X page. If you go and you just message him, hey Edo, I would like to have that link. I'm sure he'll send that. Have you ever heard of others like Descent or LAPal? Have you heard about
Yeah.
LAPal? Because the LAPal really they promote that what is it, like cold press or something pressed wallet? What is it called? The anybody knows the name of that wallet where it's kind of like offline. In order to access it, you have to have like biometrics. What do you think about LAPal?
Elipow, I have not a lot of knowledge about it. Honestly,
Okay.
I know about Descent, I know about Trezor, which they seem to be very good. I just actually repost a tweet since they want to see Kivo.
Okay.
And when they go to my profile, they will see the first post that pops up is Kivo Wallet. And man, I have done a video on
I
this
got
on
it.
my YouTube.
Okay.
It's like looks like a luxury item. They are just making a great job. You know, it's
Oh
beautiful
wow.
wallet.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
not only the utility, also the design is something I never seen before.
Okay.
Honestly,
It's up
it's
on the
like
screen. Explain to me what's the cost of that, if you don't mind.
well, it starts from $250, the most basic version, and then you have to check the pricing because honestly, I don't really remember exactly how
Okay.
much for
Okay.
each one.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's very sleek. It looks like it's digital. It looks really
yeah, man.
nice. It looks really nice from what I can see.
If I were at home now, I would
Wow.
show it because it comes in a black box and it just has like a very luxury design.
Okay,
It's awesome.
send me that link. I'll be ordering mine exactly when we get off the stream. Because here's the thing: I've ordered Descent, I've ordered Alipal, I've got a Ledger, I've got so many wallets. But then what I do is once I get them, Edo, I look for any negative news on them whatsoever. And no, I'm just being honest with you, brother, because the type of investments, and you know the type of investments that I have in many assets, including XRP, where I can probably be considered a whale in some of my holdings. I don't want to put something on something. Let's say, for example, I like LAPal. LAPal, they have the press, whatever it's called, wallet or whatever it is. Yeah, air gap. There you go, air gap. It's air gap technology. The thing that bothers me, right, is some of these, and I'm not talking about specifically LAPal, but some of these you have to do updates, right? Some of these you have to do updates, and my concern is, what if that company goes out of business, or what if this, happens? Are the, and those are the things that I think people really need to research. I think Alipel is probably very solid. Descent seems like it's very solid. That one has where it scans my fingerprint, and now Kivo. So I'm gonna get Kivo because one thing I know about you, brother, coming from as a law student. You are like me in many ways. You like doing your due diligence. You remind me of a person who's very analytical. You read a lot. You research a lot, which is why I share a lot of the stuff that you put on X. I retweet a lot of your stuff because I know that you're not some of these guys that go, oh, tomorrow when you wake up, XRP might be $1,000. You don't do those things. And so you keep it real, and I think I appreciate that. And so I'm urging everybody that sees this, everybody that might watch this in the future, please go over and follow Edo Farina on X, one of the top crypto content creators on X. I think weren't you ranked like number 2 at one point or something like that, 2 or 3?
Look about. Thank you so much for that, by the way. But on XRP, yes, number 2.
Number 2. Okay, gotcha.
But I'm getting very big also in the general crypto. So I was ranked 27 last month on
Overall,
all the
wow,
profiles.
wow.
But yes, I have been. You have seen that I have been putting a lot of hard work on X, and it just pays off, man. That's what I have to say about this.
Yeah, and Cool Chick said that's a little out of my price range. There's some other ones that are very affordable, Cool Chick. But then, like I always tell people like this, you can't sacrifice security for cost. And so at some point, you know, I always tell people this when people start talking about what they can and can't afford. And shouts out to Cool Chick for being very, very transparent, open, and honest. You know, go out there and find what you can. And again, this is not financial advice. Find some stuff that's laying around a garage. Have a garage sale and some junk that's sitting there getting cobwebs and spider webs or whatever on that you're not going to use. Maybe an old small refrigerator or old microwave, whatever it is. Sell that and invest in making sure that your future is secure in the utmost way. Have that money that's just sitting around collecting dust be used for something like this incredible or any wallet that can ensure that you have security. With that,
and not only that, sorry to interrupt you,
you're
but
good.
not only of that, I have many friends who they will complain, oh, but I don't have money to invest in crypto. First of all, the little money you need sometimes to get invested, just like you said before, $100 by the prices of today can get you 50 XRP, can get you nearly, if I'm not mistaken, 100 XLM and something near to 1,000 XRPH.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, people are consuming sometimes sugary drinks, a lot of unnecessary things for their health. And if they just, even I give the example, my mother is a great example. She smokes a package of cigarettes per day since the last 10 years, let's say. I tell her, if you just had put 50% of that money in Bitcoin, now we were all retired. You know, that's the reality.
So you're right. You're right. And here's the thing too, guys, is how much are you willing to, and I don't want to say gamble, but how much are you willing to invest in just a small possibility, Edo? Like, I always tell people, like, what did you do 5 years ago? What did you do 10 years ago? Some people have been working 5, 10, 20, 30 years, and they've got nothing to show for it. All we're saying is this, you know, do whatever it takes. And again, I don't, this is not financial advice, but I told a family member, let me just talk about this so that way it doesn't be misconstrued. I told a family member the other day, just like I told my friend earlier, I said, look, just get 1,000 XRP. It'll cost you about $500 right now. Again, this is not for anyone. Please do not take any of this as financial advice. Don't go do this right now. But this is what I told a family. I said, get 1,000 XRP. If that hits look, Edo, if Ripple is 1% right, if they're just 1% right when they said they created XRP to be a $10,000 coin, that's $100. If they're just 1% right, if the Volal group that did the Stanford evaluation, if they're just 1% right, they said 25 to 35,000 by 2030. If they're just 1% right, that's $250 to $350. So my whole thing is, if you have 1,000 XRP today, and which is $500, and you can put that up on the side and wait 5 years. Or let's say till 2030, that's what is that? That's that's 6.4 years. And in 6.4 years, what did you do 6.4 years ago to have hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, in the future? So I just say, like, just bet on yourself, bet on you know, the thing that the company that is really shocking the industry and really doing so many amazing things as far as what they're creating, and just, you know, that would be my advice to a family member, not to anyone that's here today. I got another question. It says, that's funny. A cool chick says, I think I found my old Atari. So if I sell that to get Kivo Wallet. That's funny. Hey, whatever it takes, my friend, cool chick, whatever it takes for you to put yourself in a better position. It says, shouts out to everybody that's here supporting me and Edo. Nesforce, thank you so much, cool chick. Shane Sullivan, Big Watch Dude, thank you so much. We got Kawat on. We got Anthony Wanner that's on. We've got, let's see who else is here. We've got Shubham, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you very much. We've got, let's see, Crypto Tropics is in the house. We got Beekeeper69. Thank all you guys for being here today. Definitely, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Go over to Edo Farina. You can see right here, I'm sharing where he has the Kivo wallet, guys. Make sure you guys check that out.
Look, James, can I show you? I have found the video I made about the Kivo wallet, so I can actually share.
Yes.
Just a second.
Okay.
In this video, I actually unpack it. So it's just have a look at this design.
Oh wow.
You know, yeah, it's awesome.
Jeez. It looks like it's worth $200 to me. Good Lord.
Yes, it's awesome, man. It's like a luxury item, you know.
Wow. Did you turn it on by any chance?
Sorry?
Did you turn it on or you just showed the box in?
No, I turned it on already. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah, it works very good. So yeah, just showing it. The people can see Kivo wallets on my profile, actually.
I like it. And now you said that one comes on with your face?
Yes, it has biometrical ID.
Oh, nice. And then is that like a rechargeable battery or something like that? You plug it in, that type of thing.
Yeah, as you plug it in, it can actually also be used without a charger. It's very technological.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you store that somewhere, or do you carry that with you?
No, no, I don't carry it with me. I don't advise anyone to carry it. I just live at home at a place where I feel it's comfortable, you know.
Now,
I
in,
prefer to not move the devices
now,
around.
now in the case, I know a lot of people. Sometimes I get this. Shouts out to my beautiful Queen Jeanette that's in the house. I know a lot of times I get people who say, "Well, what if I have this ledger or this Kivo, whatever the case may be, and someone breaks in and steal it? Is there a way to recover your your coins or whatever if someone comes in and steals that because they can't utilize it? So how would you then go back and recoup?"
Well, as far as I know, with Kivo, they would not be able to access through the biometricals, but I do believe they have a backup software where
Right.
with your face you'll be able to access in the same way
So you order
as
another one.
if you lose your ledger,
Okay.
and let's say if you lose the ledger with the seed phrases, then you are screwed because they will have access to your
Right.
crypto.
Right.
Now, if you only lose the physical device, that's not a problem because you can actually go buy a new ledger, and if you still have your seed phrases, then you are able to access
That's the question. Yeah.
your wallet, you know.
Can you do
And
that with Kivo?
a smart move, for example, is to if you want to have your seed phrases safe, you can maybe live with a family member that you trust that is in another different geometrical location or something like that. I never like to have it in a digital form, like
Right.
upload to my computer or anything. You know, there are so many phishing and attempts and all these things that can happen digitally. So it's always better to never have it. I know hundreds of stories of people, especially there are two ones that I really don't trust, which is Trust Wallet and MetaMask. Man, the amount of stories that I heard of people got drained with these two wallets is something unbelievable
So you
because
so you
they
don't you don't like Trust Wallet, you don't like MetaMask.
no, I
Okay.
don't like because there is so many, especially fake extensions from the browser. You know,
Yeah.
man, people have to be very careful because they are coming with very elaborated techniques.
Right.
So be very careful on the links you click, the emails you open. They sometimes send me like, you just reset your password on Coinbase, and I was like, what? And when you go, you
I
have
get
to
that
see
too.
the
Yeah.
address
Yeah. Yeah.
that send you the email. You don't have to
Yeah.
first check the address and say, okay, that's not Coinbase, that's a
Right.
phishing
No,
attempt.
I get that. I get that.
Especially when you are people like me and you
Yeah.
are sure that we are targets for these
Right.
people.
We're
But
targets. Yeah.
well, I am in crypto since 2017. I never experienced anything because I'm
No.
very careful.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
that's
That's
the
right.
secret for me.
That's right. Now the next thing let's talk about in the short term. What do you think we can look forward to? And I know we can't speculate, right? What do you think? And I was talking to somebody about this earlier. What do you think? I got a few of them that you think might happen between now and the party in September 29th. Do you think anything special will be talked about or revealed by Brad Garlinghouse, or do you think they set that party up just to party about what happened in on July 13th, 2023 with the victory? Do you think there's more to that party?
Well, yes and no. First of all, I don't see any price movement
Okay.
related to the on the short term to the party. I mean, guys, how many news we had? Well, if you follow me on Twitter, it's mind blowing. Every week there's a new document I find updated from the last week or something. That Ripple comes out with something that I say, oh my god, that's the day, you know.
Right.
And the price doesn't move up. You mean, you can find as many documents. You know, the only thing that has moved the price up was when the XRP was deemed as not declared as not a security.
Right.
And I don't think there will come any price movement associated with the party. And I don't even think we should actually be expecting that, because that's more somehow speculatory price action rather than what I am seeking, which is adoption to move the price up. So I don't think maybe we're gonna have some important announcement, maybe something related to a Ripple IPO, or maybe something related to the lawsuit coming to an end, something like that. But I don't think that we're gonna have any price action on the short term. However, I think if we're going to talk about timelines here, I always like to talk about for many reasons for me, but 2025 for me is going to be a very important year for cryptocurrencies. And guys, just think about the fact that right now, internet represents around 20% of the global economy, and crypto has the potential to overtake internet, and like, let's say, with the tokenization of assets and everything, to get to something near to 30%. And that would represent an increase in the market cap for cryptocurrencies in general that is in the trillions of dollars. And for that to happen, of course, we need cryptocurrencies to play an important role in the real world. And yes, that can actually trigger the price to move up substantially to a level that we cannot even compare to the previous bull runs, because that actually we never had an utility bull run. So we are actually exploring new figures, in my opinion, on the crypto world. So I'm very excited for the next, let's say, 2 years. I think we're going to have some great price actions.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I was talking about with my wife. We were on a walk the other day. We were just walking, I think it was yesterday maybe. And I said, honey, you know how amazing it feels. My wife is actually in the chat right now. She said hello. I said, you know how amazing it feels to be to be a part of something like crypto, specifically XRP, and many of the other assets, XTC, XLM, and others that are the most talked about thing on the planet right now. I don't think there's anything bigger than crypto and blockchain right now on planet Earth. You've got presidents who are running like John F. Kennedy Jr., whatever his name is. He's saying, if I get elected, Bitcoin, no taxes on Bitcoin. You got every candidate somehow. Even Donald Trump has something where he's got NFTs, he's got an Ethereum wallet with like $500,000, $700,000, everybody, every corporation. And that, I think for me, Edo, for the first time in my life, I can say at my age, and you're younger than I am, my little brother, for the first time, I feel I'm a part of something that's not like I'm invested in taco shells, or I'm invested in CDs, or I'm invested in a certain sneaker. I'm invested in the evolution of money, the greatest opportunity to mankind, in my opinion, that is a level playing field for anyone who pays attention, is a great student, like you said, controls their emotions, and have a plan to change their family's life. Just comment on that if you don't mind.
Absolutely, man. And the things that can just change very quickly. I mean, just look like if you look for 2010, Nokia, 2000 until 2008, 2010, Nokia, for example, was the most dominant cell phones company out there, which was most representing, if I'm not mistaken, something around 52% of the all telephones in the world. And we just see now that 5 or 10 years later, Apple has just destroyed them. Now who talks about Nokia anymore? And I think that's something, the evolution of cryptocurrencies is going to come in a rhythm of how is this in English now, geometrical progression, which means it's going to come as soon as it starts. It's like when it goes to 2, 4, 8, and it starts to going forward. So it's making this adoption will explode, in my opinion, because just imagine the days that we're going to have the banks migrating to a system like utilizing blockchain. I just saw an interview of someone who had a very important role in Swift, and he was actually talking that Swift is a dead technology and it's not fulfilling anymore the purpose it was created. So in my opinion, we are witnessing here one of the greatest opportunities to create generational wealth. And that goes not only for XRP, because, well, people know I love XRP, right, but there are it's a basket of currencies that if you are aware
of HBAR, Algo, SDC, XLM, there's so many incredible projects. That's
so many.
Right.
And not only on the XRP ledger, as you say, it's on Stellar blockchain, the tokenization, like XRP and Stellar, they can tokenize anything of value on the ledger. So, man, it can go from tokenizing commodities, it can tokenize basically everything. Another trending is the tokenization of real estate, which is, I do recommend everyone to do some research. Just see how the price of properties are becoming unaffordable for the majority of population. So when you have something that goes too much in one direction, it comes usually with a counterfeit. That's how the universe works, somehow, to create some balance. And now the way it's going to happen now is that people are going to be able, through the blockchain, to purchase little fractions. It's like you're gonna fractionize properties. Let's say you have a building with 20 apartments, and you're gonna fractionize each apartment in 100 tokens, for example, and that's gonna open the markets for every citizens in the world. Let's say you live in Spain, and you tokenize your apartment in Spain. Now the entire world has access to invest on that property through smart contracts. So the world is just moving so fast on this way. And you just gave a great example, and I want to share something very cool. I will have an interview in 2 days, if I'm not mistaken, with presidential candidate, Mr. Shiva. Not sure if you heard of him.
Yeah, Dr.
He's
Shiva.
the creator of email, and he's running as an independent for the presidential candidate as the United States. And we're gonna have a conversation about cryptocurrencies. And just like you said, Kennedy is asking for Bitcoin on the donation. So it's slowly becoming mainstream, but we are still very early on the game. I mean, if you walk here on the street in Greece, and I would to ask 100 people how many of them actually hold XRP, I bet zero.
Yeah.
And I give another great example. When I went to the Paris Blockchain Week, which I hope to see you there next year, and I was recording some content with the guy that was on the live today, the Spanish guy. And we were asking investors on this, which is the most important cryptocurrencies event in Europe. And we were asking them, so guys, what is your portfolio like? I have this in video, this is not a joke. 95% of them only held Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some other coin. Not one of them has said XRP, not one of them has said XLM, not one of them has said anything related to ISO to 0022 tokens. So this just shows how early we are on the game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's funny because Anthony Wanner had been telling me to get with Dr. Shiva for some time now, who's a presidential candidate. He asked me to reach out to him for an interview on the show. And so when he heard you say that you're looking at doing an interview, that's amazing, because that's one of the people that he's been asking me for probably a couple months now to get on the show to talk about crypto. And so that might be something I might explore, because he's asked me so many times to do that. So that would be awesome. Now, when you do the interview, are you doing it on Twitter Space?
Yes, we're actually going to make on Spaces, and you can jump in there and do some insights as well. And I think you should definitely bring into the show here. Yeah. He's a great guy. I follow him since the pandemic in 2019, and he's just making a tremendous job. You know, he invented email, so you can just imagine how much information he has about the new financial system.
Yeah, what I might do is I will definitely be on the chat with you guys when you guys do the Twitter Space or the X Space. And then what I'll do is I'll send an invite either through Anthony Wanner or yourself for him to come on the show with me and you. So I'd like to have him, maybe the three of us come on, and me and you just do an interview on, you know, his past, his present, and what he foresees as far as the things that are motivating him in his presidential campaign, and the things, you know, and how passionate he is with the implementation of crypto with his campaign as well. So that'd be huge. I would love to do that.
If he starts XRP donation program, I think it would be very successful.
Oh, very, yeah. I would.
He would drive a lot of attention from the XRP community.
And maybe we can tell him, you know, maybe get him to think of something like that. I'd definitely be a supporter of that, and the movement, and making sure that you and I can maybe spark something like that. So no, that was the question I was going to talk about. One of the things that you touched on as well. You can't see unless you're on the computer. Right next to your face, I have the Ripple. XRP Ripple versus global transfer markets, and you can see where Ripple's market cap, it says 30 billion, Western Union 80 billion, global non-cash transactions 577 billion. Then you get to Swift, which Swift is falling behind, man, in many ways as far as the technology and what's going on. I think they're very worried about that. They're at 5 billion, and then when you look at bank accounts, right? Bank accounts and what they actually hold on to is about 27 trillion. And then, so you got the global transfer market, 2.7 quadrillion. And if Ripple just gets a part of that on the XRP, I mean, that could be astronomical, which is where I think they're assessing these prices, like the Valao Group, when they're talking about the potential of tens of thousands of dollars by 2030. That's about a 6.4 year window for Ripple to implement what they're going to be doing. And I do agree with you. I think the next I don't know if you remember the young lady Shannon Thorpe from Wells Fargo, who made she gave the assessment that, hey, I can't really say certain things. I was on the Twitter space that she was on. She was talking about things that she could and couldn't say. She had to get some kind of clarity from compliance, but she did say, she says, look, and she even went back here like a week or two ago and reiterated on her initial comment saying, this is why I felt the way I felt. I see XRP being, this price by this certain amount of time. And even though she said those things, the only thing that can hinder that, whatever she thinks she knows, or whatever her different timelines of what she gave, is the fact that you can't control what's happening right now with ETHgate. You can't control the SEC. They just announced that they're going to be going after more exchanges. I don't know if you saw that here last week. Gary Gensler says we're not done. We're just getting. There's more exchanges to come that they're going to be going after. So I think there's just this really messed up a narrative out there. And if you listen to Steven Naroff, he came out with a tweet, which he's coming out with a lot of tweets lately. Edo, he said, everyone keeps thinking this is an attack on crypto. He goes, you guys got it wrong. Based off of what I know, he goes, crypto is the prize, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. They're after, it's not they're trying to kill crypto. They're trying to embrace and be profitable, more profitable, and do what they've done for so many years by putting themselves in position to have bigger gains than anybody else. And he thinks that's his reasoning for why all this stuff has been going on with crypto. Did you see that at all? That message from Stephen Arrow talking about crypto as a prize?
Yeah, there's some spicy contents going on with Steven. He's even saying things like, I would never harm myself. And, this is getting very spicy. And if anyone knows how the Federal Reserve, the inception of the Federal Reserve, which in my opinion is a corporation, and I will limit myself because I don't want your channel to get banned out there.
Yeah,
but saying that, yes, they're just seeking to make as much profits as they can. And it's just, we already spoke about this so many times. It's just so shameful that the SEC is giving free pass for Ethereum, and yet they chosen to come after XRP, which now we all know is not a security. Ripple didn't even have an ICO, and it's only Ripple and Stellar. They are two companies that didn't make any ICO, and you just see that Ethereum has the free pass and everything.
And that's what makes it so interesting with Steven Naroff, because he's saying the things that he has that he can expose, whether it's recordings, documentation, and everything else. He's saying those things can verify who the disguised whales are, and the things that they did early on in the ICO that could have not only manipulated the price, but in some cases would definitely show Ethereum as being a security predicated off those early things that were done. So that's why it's causing so much controversy. Let's switch gears real quick. We're at an hour right now. I want to go ahead and get ready to end this thing. Let's say hypothetically, if you don't mind, let's play a hypothetical game, okay? For those who are out there, those might watch this. Let's say hypothetically, in the short term, maybe in the next 3 to 6 months, we see a situation where the SEC continues to push. This is something that John Deaton talks about, where if they continue to push Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, it may force them to go to trial. If they go to like a Supreme Court, it gives them the opportunity to call up witnesses like Bill Hinman, Steven Naroff. And if they're called to court, that would not be in the favor of the SEC, especially with all the things that he says he has. Let's play the devil's advocate and a little bit optimistic here. Let's say we get a settlement from XRP in the next 3 to 6 months, just hypothetically, with the win that they've already had on July 13th, 2023, and a possible settlement, and maybe even an IPO in the next 3 to 6 months. Where do you think, just having fun, we could be looking at Ripple or XRP going? What would that mean for that token going into the next?
Well, that in my opinion would be the most important event for XRP. That's a huge
and all the crypto.
Yes, all the crypto. I mean, it's just to get over the SEC for me is the most important event in the history of cryptos, perhaps. And considering that the all-time high for XRP is at 384 in 2017. Well, some people claim $2.22 because it went on some Korean exchanges. So there's some divergences on which is the all-time high. In my opinion, it's 384 because it was traded in some Korean exchanges for 384. And when we have this huge bull run for XRP, it made from January to November 2017, 17, it has made a 36,000%,
Yeah.
and that's not a joke.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah. It was crazy.
you know that it
Yes.
has actually outperformed most cryptos out there. It has actually dethroned even Ethereum on the market cap for some period. It was actually top 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of room for XRP to grow. I think the price has been suppressed for so many times. If you look at the charts, you can see it's clearly like in accumulation phases for so long. And yeah, so let's give me an honest guess for me that we could easily make a 3x from the all-time high.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, not a 3x, a 10x from the
10x,
all-time high.
10x, okay.
So
Yeah.
let's say something reasonable, $5 being very, very, very conservative, but way past $10.
Yeah.
And that's actually already a 20x from now.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
agree
not
with you.
far.
It's funny because I was watching someone, they put, hotels had Airbnb, taxis, then you saw Lyft and Uber, and Bitcoin, you've got XRP. And that's really where they're saying, once this thing has clarity, once this thing settles, the sky's the limit. So anyways, no, I've got a lot of people here with a lot of questions. I just want to say thank you so much. The last thing that I'll say, as I said, someone said, Nesfor says, great guest. We need to have him back. For those of you guys who don't know who Edo Farina is, he's been on the show several times. He's an incredible mindset. Make sure you go over to his Twitter. I'm going to show it again. Or his X. I get in such a bad habit of saying Twitter, but go over to his X, follow Edo Farina. Yeah. So he's going to be coming up here very soon. You will announce the Dr. Shiva interview before that happens, or the Twitter. Or do you have a more definitive date for that?
Oh, I'm just waiting for them to send me the link because they are going to create on the Dr. Shiva account. So as soon as I have the link, but I can tell you the dates. I would just have to check it.
Okay.
I have so many things scheduled that I don't even remember, but it should be on the 26th.
Okay.
And I will tell you the time in a bit, yeah.
Yeah, you have my number, so send that to me not only on Twitter, send it to me on WhatsApp, where me and you talk privately sometimes in message.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I'm prepared, and I'll be a part of that conversation as well. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Okay, guys. With that being said, Edo, I'm gonna let you get back to what you're doing. Just by the way, it's 1:14 p.m. here. What time is it where you're at right now?
Man, it is 11:14 p.m.
11:14 p.m. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Like my beautiful Queen Jeanette says, shouts out to my man, my little brother, Edo Farina. I'm looking forward to doing so much more with you. Let me know also. I know we've got some Twitter spaces that we'll be doing this next week as well, right? Like Tuesday, Thursday.
Yes, awesome.
Okay.
Can you remind me it's going to be Tuesday? Well, I have to tell you, man, I'm very bad with remembering dates, but somehow you can help me with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Tuesday, I know we've been trying to get King Doga and Jenna X. So that's part of our team as well. So if you want to set it up for this Tuesday, either 10 a.m. Pacific time or 1 p.m., whatever works out, because I know that's a big time for you as far as big difference. You let me know and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I think 1 p.m. Pacific time works, and we're going to keep everyone updated on our platforms if we change the time. Okay. But for sure, 100% we're going to be there on Tuesday. And we are taking over the X Spaces. That's our next big step.
That's right.
It's happening. It's live.
That's right.
And everyone is welcome to join us there.
Shouts out, guys, to my man, the myth, the legend. He's done some incredible things. My man, Edo Farina, my little brother, and my partner in Twitter, and things that we're going to be doing in the future. So, Edo, thank you so much. Shouts out to you and your family, and we look forward to seeing you here again soon. Any last thoughts that you want to say before you take off, Edo?
My final thoughts is for everyone to do their own research. I mean, don't trust a word of what I say or what you say. That's my advice for them. Don't trust us. Just go out there, do your own research, take responsibility for what you are doing on your life. And in my opinion, that's how you're actually going to get the best opportunities to make generational wealth in the next 24, 36 months. Do your own research, find the documents yourself. Don't trust what influencers are saying. Don't trust that they are saying we're going to hit 10,000 tomorrow. You see a lot of nonsense on Twitter. It's not going to happen like this.
That's right. Even
though in the future we might see high prices, but always do your own research and have a safe strategy for when you want to cash out your gains. I know that's very specific on what is your age, what you want to do with your money, what is your current situation. So that's very specific. And yeah, that's it. Do your own research.
Thank you, my brother. We appreciate you. We'll see you again soon. My man, Edo Farina. Thank you very much, brother. Guys, that's Edo Farina. We appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. Let me go back to, let's see here. What do I got this thing popped up on my screen here? I want to give some shouts out to the family before we leave. Shouts out to Big Bro 10. Shouts out to Nestor. Thank you guys for being a part of this. My beautiful queen, Jeanette. Can't wait to hang out with her a little bit later. Go have some dinner and all that good stuff. Anthony Wanner, Shane Sullivan. I appreciate you, my man. We've got Cool Chick in the house. Thank you so much for your support, sis. Appreciate you. We've got Big Watch Dude. We've got, let's see, Laurel Level, my man Bullish Big D. We'll appreciate you each and every time that you come over here and show your amazing support. We got Shabham, a new person to the stream. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Who else do we got here? We got Laura Level. We've got Beekeeper69. Thank you guys all for being here. Guys, make sure you guys catch us tomorrow. We'll try to go live at 9 a.m. We'll figure out a topic. If you guys got some coins that you guys want us to cover as well, make sure you guys send those to us. It's been real. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's your boy James, a.k.a. Six8Jay. Until next time. Peace.